what location is your favorite?
Well, the top location that we have, that's why Dreams Jade is famous, is the pergola. This is the location because we can have here ceremonies, cocktails, even some small receptions, but this is our main location and we can accommodate 130 guests in this location.
It's always sunny down in Mexico. The sun gets high when I get low. The only way to get there is to let yourself go. Good times are made in Mexico. Desperate desperado with the $5 bottle ain't the cheapest talk around. The constant rat race always picks up the pace, so I'm headed for the outside of town.
Claudia, so good to have you. Thank you for joining us. And we are at Dreams Jade Resort. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We're doing a small podcast interview for the Be All Inclusive podcast, where we're just meeting with the weddings managers at the resorts and chatting a little bit to see how, learn a little bit about you, learn a bit about the resort. Well, tell me a little bit about, Dreams Jade, if you will. How many wedding locations do we have
first
here?
First of all, thank you, James. Thank you for the opportunity to open microphones to show you or to talk a little bit about Dreams Jade. It's a wonderful property. We do around 300 weddings per year. So some days we have 4 weddings in a day. That based on number of guests, number of events that they will have. That's how we can accommodate. We have more than 15 locations to host weddings.
15 locations.
15 locations.
Ceremonies? How many for just ceremony?
Ceremonies, we consider 1, 2, 3, 4 locations for ceremony.
Okay. And then, but the receptions can be all over.
Reception will be around 15, more than 15 locations.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotcha. Well, how many guests can you accommodate here at
We
Dreams
can
Jade?
accommodate for our reception, the biggest one, 300 guests.
300 guests.
Yes.
Oh, so how many rooms is the hotel total?
550 suites.
550. So we really can accommodate the 300 guests pretty easily.
Yes, and have locations on outdoor location, really nice outdoor location, pool terraces, garden, beach. We consider 3 beach locations, so we can have 3 weddings in a day, 4 weddings in a day, and we give the space and time for each bride, so they have their moment, they have their own location, they have their own space.
So they're not seeing other couples, right?
But locations are just unique and just for them.
Gotcha. So what location is, the setup behind you here is beautiful. But what location is your favorite?
Well, the top location that we have, that's why Dreams Jade is famous, is the pergola. This is the location because we can have here ceremonies, cocktails, even some small receptions, but this is our main location. La Pergola is an overlooking to the ocean, very private, intimate, and we can accommodate 130 guests in this location. We can perform Catholic ceremonies here as well. And the other location we have is La Terraza. It's very close by to this location, and garden and beach for ceremonies as well.
Which one's your favorite?
La Pergola, this one.
This one. I know I would love to just shoot a wedding here. Like, it's very pretty. And I imagine, obviously, the sun comes up, and we're in the morning right now. Sun comes up over here, so it's bright right now. But in the afternoon, the sun's over there, so you've got, nobody's looking into the brightness. It's got to be perfect, so.
Yeah, you know what? There's no lawn chairs there. There's no palapas, so the view is very clean, just the sun and the ocean.
Right. No, beautiful. So, in your opinion, what's the best time of year to have a wedding?
Depends on the season. For example, if we are talking about January, February, even March, November, December, the best time would be between 4 and 5 p.m. But if we go to May, June, July, August, 6 p.m. will be.
So, what time of day? But what time of season do you think? What time of year? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you have the time, the availability, then you offer 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m. But when you don't have the time, any bride asks, I don't care, I want 1 p.m. ceremony.
Obviously, you've got a lot of experience with weddings. So what is the most unique thing that you've experienced at a wedding that you've seen?
Oh my God, there's a lot of stories about planning weddings and seeing wedding couples. So since the most particular, the two of them, that they don't care about the rain, they don't care about if it's a storm, and they are having a ceremony, just the two of them showing their love, their care, and you show and you feel that, I think that could be.
So the couples that don't care about anything else, the couples that, hey, we're here to get married, and like, yeah, it is, they have.
I think that's the most
unique.
valuable thing.
Yeah.
It's about love.
Obviously we see a lot of weddings. Have you seen anything that the couples regret spending or not spending on? What do they regret after their weddings?
When they are planning a wedding in Caribbean, sometimes weather can not help.
Mm-hmm.
And we suggest to consider a backup plan, and they need to take a backup plan when it's obviously weather will not change, but sometimes weather doesn't cooperate. And when you invest a lot of money on decoration, a nice setup, dance floor, lighting, just hear your suggestion of your wedding coordinator that to move indoors, because once it is set up, it's difficult to
move it.
To move everything, and
kind of disrupts the flow, right?
Yes, correct. And there's a lot of investment and money budget invested into that.
We set up plan A when it's going to rain.
Let's move to plan B.
Let's move to
plan B.
What do you think is the must-have? The must-have for the ceremony or the must-have for the reception? As far as the decor and whatnot, what do you think is the most important?
Floral, yes. Photo, video, yes, because I will capture the great moments. Music, dancing. It's about having a party. It's about having a good time. And this will be to remember.
We know a lot of couples choose to do a destination wedding because of the budget. Mm-hmm. Because at weddings in the U.S., they're significantly more expensive. Weddings here, obviously, the wedding tends to be cheaper. There are weddings, in our area, their wedding venues are $20,000 to rent an empty ballroom for 6 hours, no food,
no drinks,
no
DJ.
Separate your plate. Right, nothing.
Yeah, everything is extra.
Yeah, and so in doing a destination wedding, knowing that, the budget, what recommendation would you have to clients that are getting married, choosing Dreams Jade Resort? What are your biggest money-saving recommendations for clients planning their wedding that want to stay on a budget?
So always, I would say my wedding team always work with the bride. If she has a tight budget, or if she has a plans for something that she really wants, we can make it work. Because we know that a bride dream it's important.
We're right. We want to fulfill their dream. We don't want to just sell them everything and spend all the money. If their budget is lower, we accommodate.
We can accommodate.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. It's all about that. So what's your favorite part of the wedding day when you're doing?
Just see at the end that the wedding couple it's having fun, is happy, it's full of joy and happiness and energy, and they say thank you. At the end, you sit and watch like a movie, and just see the couple and you see the love between all the family. That's when you say, I did my job. And and there are ceremonies that are very just interesting. I mean, you're hearing the speech. Maybe the father is the official, and you are hearing the speech of the father, and you have like that, or you even cry, and that's the moment when you say, this is the right place where I am.
And that's a beautiful thing of doing the symbolic ceremony and destination, because it's not a legal ceremony. It doesn't have to be done by a legal officiant. It could be done by anybody, the couple. And it makes it much more
from the heart.
Absolutely. Claudia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, James.
Really appreciate it. I can't wait to share all of this with our couples.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
But it's always sunny down in Mexico.